We're back live doing our final demonstration. Dr. Ruiz is actually going to be doing a Botox in the forehead and the glabella area, and we're also doing filler threads. If you've ever heard of threading, it's very popular now. The PDO, the dissolvable threads, you can use it to lift the face without having a traditional facelift. You can use it to do fillers. So we're going to do a combination therapy because our lovely model Ronnie, she has some nice strong lines in the forehead, and we want to help build the collagen there so that in essence, her lines will stay softer longer than traditional Botox. So he's going to start with the Botox, and then
I want Ronnie, just raise your eyebrows. Raise them high, high, higher, higher. So you see she's developed some nice deep lines here, and she's got a really deep wrinkle right there in the glabella area, just above the nose. So by using the Botox first, we're going to help relax that muscle so she can't continue to create those lines. And since they're pretty marked, using the filler threads, we can bulk them up and kind of bring them up so that it looks smoother. Okay, so that's the combination, is to help produce a nice smooth effect all across her forehead. Okay, so we're going to start with the Botox.
do you have her sweetie ball? Does she have the sweetie ball? You have it? Okay. So everyone's familiar with Botox. It's used to relax muscles. You can use it in the forehead. You can use it in the glabella area. Use it around the eyes to give yourself a little eye lift. It can be used around the mouth. If you tend to have a gummy smile, meaning when you smile you see a lot of gums, it can actually be injected here above the lip to help relax that lip, so that way you don't see as much gum. It can also be used here in the jaws. If you have a really strong jawline and you want to soften it a little bit, it can be injected there. A lot of different areas of Botox can be used, but today, of course, we're just doing it just to help relax the muscles. This, of course, is going to take up to 2 weeks to come into full effect for the muscles to relax enough to soften. But the filler threads will begin initially to help volumize the area. Over time, what it's going to do, it's going to dissolve in her body, the little threads. And what it will do is it will create more collagen in the area. Therefore, these marks that are really prominent now won't mark up as bad because we're creating more collagen. So it's a real nice combination therapy that we're going to do on her today. So
And you see there's very little downtime with this, but you have to remember these are needles, and you could have a little bruising, and so we don't really recommend that you have something like this done and the next day go to some big event, or plan it like that. And some people try to do that because you don't know. I mean, you could have a little bruise. So we try to tell our patients that that's always a possibility, that they'll have a little bruising. I try to inject in between the cells. I'm just kidding. That doesn't. So, anyway, we try to do it as careful as possible so that she doesn't bruise. So I'm going to give her a little bit of a lift on the eyebrow too, because she's getting a little bit of hooding. That's easy.
I'm going to back out for a second. You can get closer if you want.
So when you're injecting Botox, even though it's designed to relax the muscle, it'll actually look like she had a little bit of a lift.
Well, what we do is we inject muscles that basically are antagonistic, they're called. You have just one big muscle that pulls everything up like this, and then you have a bunch of muscles around here that tend to pull things down.
Okay.
So by injecting in certain areas, we can allow for this muscle to pull a little more, like I injected here, and she has this is called the orbicularis oculi, and this one pulls it down. So I'll weaken it just a little bit here, and I'll leave some of these muscle fibers out here without Botox, and then they'll just pull a little harder.
Okay.
So it helps lift. So yeah, it can be used for creating, elevating brows a little bit. It's not a lot. Some people think that you can actually get a brow lift like you would do surgically. That's not going to happen, but we can get a little bit of a lift so the eye looks a little more open.
Oh, you can go closer. You won't get in the shot.
How are you doing, Ron?
Good. Doing good.
All right, so we've completed the Botox. And now we're going to move ahead with the threads. So there are basically 3 types of threads, or 4 types of threads if you want. But we have some that are smooth that we use to help improve the collagen and smooth the skin. We have ones that add a little bit of volume, which I'm going to do for some of these deeper lines. Use the ones that add a little volume. And then we have some threads that we can actually help lift the tissue. Okay, so again, not like a facelift, you know, but enough to give her a significant improvement in these areas. We can do the area of the eyebrow, and the thread just goes underneath the skin. Those threads in particular have barbs, and actually they catch the skin underneath, and then we can pull the skin up. So you might get anywhere from 2 to 4 millimeters, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the clinical effect of it is significant. And then if we combine that with some fillers, you soften all these lines, and you give some support to the face. Because gravity doesn't forgive anybody. Gravity pulls everything down. So we try to give the skin and tissue some support.
Now these barbs the threads that have the barbs, you don't feel them.
You don't feel
at
them.
all.
Now, you could feel a little bit of swelling, but that sensation goes away in about 2 weeks. You don't feel anything. So
Just like
this
regular
is-
filler.
just something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
just like filler. So we're gonna put one of the threads right in here, and you see a little bit of sting. And as you can see, I'm threading right along the line, and the thread stays in here. Once it engages, stays underneath the skin. Okay.
Isn't that neat?
Doing okay, Ron?
Doing fine.
Yeah, no. It just goes up under the tissue, and then you pull out, and the little opening just closes. And
You see, that's basically the technique. To try to a little bit this way.
they're short. Yeah, these ones they're different.
Well, we can
lengths.
do. They're different lengths.
Yeah, different length, different thicknesses. Smooth.
It just depends.
Yeah, round, volumizing barbs. So these are just the smooth ones to build the collagen and help that line to pump up better. Because you can't inject the forehead. It's dangerous. No. There are doctors that do it, but the
Academy of Facial
says
Plastics, and
absolutely do not inject.
we
on the
don't
forehead
recommend
at all.
injecting in this area at all.
No.
Yeah.
Filler.
Good.
Yeah, because there have been cases of blindness and so forth. Yeah.
So you might look pretty, but you can't see yourself. Sorry, didn't mean to. I know this is live, so.
No, but that is something, because you see people don't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They
Don't know,
The
exactly.
layperson doesn't know that. Yeah.
And they think that Botox is the only
Yes.
thing that they can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put in the
So yeah, they'll use
It's
really marked up. Yeah.
we went to,
Uh-huh.
they have the little Jacob something. I use the skin, but it gets white. It's not that sweet. So I was playing with my husband, so I put it in.
Yeah, this is the last one.
Big difference, but it was white.
So turn over just a little bit for no,
Wrong way.
like that. Right.
No, I can't see fine. So this is the smooth threads. These are the ones to help with the forehead lines. So he did Botox first, and now he's with the more prominent lines. He did Botox everywhere, and now he's doing the filler threads. They're real thin little smooth threads, and it's going to build a lot of collagen, so that way the tissue bounces back faster.
How's that feel,
Stays smoother
Ron?
longer.
Feels great. Feels fine.
What's amazing is
Not
to
a lot of
see her.
discomfort.
No discomfort.
Again, some of
Yeah,
these,
you
some of
can't
the
do
other
Restylane, you can't do fillers like that
threads
because
are a
it's
little
liquid
longer,
and
so
gives
we,
the
we're
bloodstream
using
and
some of the
goes right to
small
eye,
ones
and
for
you can
these
dye-
lines.
well, you can dye
But we
gel
can
it,
use
go on. So we don't.
We can use a longer thread to help lift
The threads you can do.
the area, the cheek, the jowl in this area.
Some
We can do it on the neck,
filler, the liquid filler,
so we can actually
and
pull the
that's
neck
different.
tissues
The
back
ones that the county said
and
you're
help
not
alleviate
doing
some of
those.
the
That's
lines
when
down
the
here.
threads come in.
All right, that's it. Thank you for watching. Come visit us.
Yeah, no, but I mean, just
Yeah, yeah, but we had a patient the other day that
yeah, you were
was
fine. You
a-
didn't,
Okay.
yeah, you didn't look like you felt
injected,
anything
you know, injected
good,
off.
but